The courtroom was silent. The kind of silence that makes your heartbeat echo in your own ears. At the center of it all stood Maria, a maid, humble, quiet, and trembling. She had worked for years in the mansion of a wealthy businessman, Mr. Whitmore, a man known as much for his power as his cruelty. But today, Maria was not serving drinks or polishing floors. She was the one in chains, accused of stealing a diamond bracelet worth a fortune. Whitmore sat in the front row, his designer suit flawless, his expression smug. He whispered loudly to his attorney, "She'll pay for this. No one steals from me and walks free." Maria's lips quivered as she clutched the hem of her faded dress. She had no lawyer, no family by her side, no money for bail. Just a tired woman, working day and night to send a little money back home to her mother and her son. The judge's gavel struck. "Does the defendant have representation?" Maria shook her head. "No, Your Honor. I can't afford one." A murmur spread through the courtroom. She was alone. Hopeless. And then, out of the back row, a voice spoke up. "I'll represent her." All eyes turned. It was Daniel. A single dad. A veteran. A man most people overlooked, often seen walking his daughter to school in the same worn-out jacket, his head bowed, his steps heavy. Few knew his story. Fewer knew his mind. But Daniel stepped forward now, calm, firm, almost commanding. "I may not look like much," he said, locking eyes with the judge, "but I studied law before the army. I passed the bar. I just never practiced. If this woman has no one else, I'll stand for her." The courtroom erupted in whispers. Whitmore's lawyer scoffed. "This is absurd. He's no real attorney." Daniel cut in. "I know the law. And I know injustice when I see it." The judge hesitated, then nodded. "Very well. Proceed." Maria's eyes filled with tears. For the first time that day, she wasn't alone. The trial unfolded. Whitmore's lawyer painted Maria as a thief, desperate and greedy. He held up the diamond bracelet and said, "Found in her cleaning cart. Case closed." Maria bowed her head, silent. "But Daniel..." Daniel leaned forward, eyes sharp. "Your Honor, let's ask why the bracelet was in her cart. Who had access to it? Who could have planted it?" He paced slowly, his military calm now blending with legal precision. He called for the mansion's security footage, which Whitmore's lawyer had conveniently ignored. After some resistance, the judge ordered it shown. The courtroom gasped. On the grainy video, just hours before Maria was arrested, a figure appeared, not Maria. It was Whitmore's own nephew. Drunk. Reckless. He slipped into Maria's cleaning supplies while she was scrubbing floors upstairs. He planted the bracelet. The room fell silent. Maria looked up, eyes wide with shock and relief. Whitmore's face turned pale. He stammered, This doesn't prove." Daniel's voice boomed. "It proves everything. She was framed. This woman gave her life in service to your household, and you repaid her with humiliation." The judge slammed the gavel. Case dismissed. Charges dropped. Maria collapsed into tears. The courtroom erupted with murmurs of disbelief and admiration. And then something no one expected happened. Daniel stepped back to Maria's side and whispered, "You're free now." Maria sobbed. "Why would you do this for me? You don't even know me." Daniel looked down, his voice soft but steady. "Because I know what it feels like to be powerless. To fight battles alone. No one should have to face that." Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed, hungry for drama. But the cameras didn't focus on Whitmore anymore. They focused on Maria, and the quiet veteran who had stood up for her. Maria hugged him, whispering, "God bless you." Daniel smiled faintly. He didn't ask for praise. Didn't seek recognition. He just walked away, holding his daughter's small hand. As they disappeared into the crowd, his little girl looked up at him and said, "Daddy, you're a hero." Daniel shook his head, eyes misty. "No, sweetheart. Real heroes are people who never stop being kind, even when the world is cruel. And so the story spread. Not about a millionaire's wealth. Not about a diamond bracelet. But about a maid who found her voice, and a single dad veteran who reminded the world that sometimes the greatest power is compassion. Because in the end, justice isn't just about laws. It's about humanity.